Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Now, if you guys saw my video earlier on today, you guys may have a chance to see that we actually are on a nice little mini vacation. So hopefully you guys can give me a thumbs up for this one. For being, I'm trying my best to always stay consistent when it comes to the uploads and stuff. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a ghetto setup for maybe the next like 1 or 2 days, as you guys may see these. So if you guys don't mind, we'll probably be back to nice, normal, proper setups in the very near future. But some of the news that's actually been kind of coming out throughout the weekend, the past few days, as I've been kind of traveling and getting kind of situated, has been overall actually pretty cool. So don't mind me and my little wobbly screen over here. I'm laying on my laptop. I'm just chilling. I'm just kind of vibing. You guys can probably go and tell. So hope you guys are having a good day, and hope you guys will enjoy my nice little vacation. So as you guys may know and see, like if I miss any type of restock stuff at all, I really hope you guys won't mind. Hopefully no one leaves any mean comments. I'll try my best to be on top of all my stuff. But that's why I want to make this video, because it's actually kind of cool. Now, as you guys may or may not have seen, we actually saw a really huge PlayStation milestone that has now been just basically passed. I want to go talk about this because, well, it kind of actually seems like we'll be actually having more proper restocks, even more proper production, and a lot of other various things too as well. And as well, if you guys can leave a like on this video, especially for me try my best to be committed, as always, the usual sell links down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed for the PS5 giveaway itself. You know, maybe just go to a nice little Vegas giveaway next up here for all of you guys. But I appreciate you guys all so much. Hope you guys can deal with me throughout the next few days for the setup, and we can kind of go from there. I'm also on the good old monitor itself, so we can go and you guys can see on how we're trying to rock out over here. But I don't know, I feel like there's some kind of cool news we've had a chance to go and showcase. So with this, as you guys may or may not have a chance to go and see, it's kind of a big news throughout the weekend where PlayStation 5 now has officially passed over 20 million units sold, and Sony says they'll ramp up the production as well on this year with stacks on stacks on stacks, which I think is awesome. So the PlayStation 5 over here has now officially passed over 20 million units. So as you guys know, we do a lot of restocks on this channel. So if any game kind of maybe give your comments and thoughts down below if you guys yourselves have actually gotten them yet. I know a lot of you guys watch a lot of the restocks and deal with the restocks, so I'm sure some of you guys still don't. Or sometimes you guys are even new. Like sometimes you guys are newer folks and you guys haven't had a chance to, just heard about the shortage and now you're kind of finally checking it out because it's like a year and a half later. Or maybe new games are coming out. Or you guys saw the Sony State of Play. There's always new people involved all the time. So I guess first and foremost, leave a comment if you guys have gotten one or if you guys know one. 20 million is like kind of a lot, but that is also, I believe, worldwide. But yeah, so they absolutely said that right there. So basically, 20 million units sold over worldwide, and Sony has promised to significantly increase its production efforts within the next 6 months. So those two golden lines right there. 20 million, huge milestone, big numbers. Now let's get to 25 and 30 million. But part two, that's also beyond the fact that they're ramping up production, and I think that's why I'm even making this video right here, sitting here, because that's the big news. So Sony executive Veronica Rogers actually told Game Industry Biz that the company is planning on a significant ramp up in PS5 production this year. And we were hearing some of that from like Jim Ryan and other folks, and even like, all the AMD folks, where they're like, hey, we're going to try to make as much as we can. We're going to have a really good year. Semiconductor chips are slowly kind of chilling. We're finally having a chance to dive into more and more, just production overall, which I think is good. Because obviously, if you want to get all your stock, you want to have the world go working, you want to have the finance working, well, duh, how about you go and just make the consoles and you maybe pull a bit more? And that's kind of what Sony's decided to go and do. And as well, they are working endlessly to make sure that the PlayStation 5 is available for anyone who wants one. So it's like, it's a big duh. Like, you want to go and you want to make money, you got to sell some units. If you want to go and, well, sell people units, you got to go make them. It's just like end all be all. So I actually had a pretty cool comment over here from Daniel Ahmed, where, as noted by the industry analyst on Twitter, the PS5 has now officially hit the 20 million units in 1 year and 6 months in 22 days. So it's been technically 568 days in total, and as you guys have probably known, we've been doing the restock stuff pretty much around that same exact time. One of these days, I guess not even on vacation, we'll go and have it all fully finalized, but those numbers are insane. So hopefully a lot of you guys that are still watching this video will have a chance to go and get your stuff sooner rather than later. And which is also meaning it's also been slightly falling behind on the PS4's record, which at the end of the day, you also have a pandemic, you have like all these cargo ships, you have all these semiconductor issues, you have chip superiority, like it's just all over the place, so it's nuts. So what this actually is hitting, the PS4 hit that record of 20 million in 1 year, 3 months, and in 14 days. So only in 471 days. But once again, at that same point, we didn't have like a pandemic and other stuff we had to go worry about in the first place. So let's go and keep that in mind. So for reference, the PS4 sold 20 million units in 15 months and 14 days. So 471 days in the first place. So just go show that. So it also is kind of intriguing to note, though, that we were really hyped up, and even like Jim Ryan and everyone else was on top of this, because we saw the numbers for the 10 million extremely fast. Like, we're talking as fast, like, well, some of the fastest restocks, which is why we were assuming it was going to hit like 100 million super quick, and it was going to go take over the world, and we're going to see all the stock, and it was going to be the best and coolest stuff we've ever had a chance to go and see. But then at the end of the world, it's just, well, what are you supposed to do? Like, you know, at the end of the day, what's supposed to happen? Like, if you have all these issues and you can't get the chips and you can't get all the production, then the world's just like, it's just not going to work. Like, you can't keep that same line. So at the end of the day, at least they have been doing great numbers in production. So that being said, the PS5 has encountered obviously significant production issues, as we mentioned, from component shortages that have plagued the video game industry and the Xbox and even the Switch, Steam Deck, and everything too, and they even had to reevaluate their forecast. And as well, the company announced in its latest financial earnings result that 19.3 million PS5s had been sold by the end of 2021 financial year, meaning the console fell short of its original sales target by 3 million, which is why I think a lot of us, when it comes to normal restocks and everything else tied on in, it was just a big struggle, because we had like a 3-week period, like 4 weeks ago, where we basically had no production, no restocks, no movements, no anything. And that's not fun, because that just means that none of us were getting consoles, none of us were getting the hookup, and at the end of the day, we should all just sit here and cry because it just wasn't a fun time. So I think we'd all kind of collectively agreed that it wasn't good. Like, it wasn't a good experience. So it's always kind of sad, but I'm happy at least they did go mention it, because if they would have kept on saying, hey, we want to push for 18 million, and then we just didn't see restocks for 2 months, I'm sure a lot of us would be kind of, well, curious. So Sony's chief financial officer, Hiroki Totoki, did go and say earlier on this month this number was based on the current visibility into parts procurement. Although, as we have also had some kind of comments too, from AMD, other productions, NVIDIA, even I think Intel, etc. Although the Intel's been more on the sadder side, that a lot of more of these big part issues and production issues and everything else kind of seem like they're kind of calming down a little bit more, which is always nice to go and see. So thankfully, when it comes to all this type of stuff, we have been seeing good movement. We actually have been seeing more restocks, as I'm sure you guys saw throughout this past week. We'll probably be seeing even more in the future. And a lot of folks out here who may still be looking for their consoles can ideally get them sooner rather than later. And it does kind of seem like they're going to be trying to push more money into chip shop, like basically focusing on that and trying to spend as much little extra money as they can, work with different companies and different producers, and kind of go from there. So at the end of the day, I'm kind of pretty happy with this. Like, it's not the best, obviously. Like, we'd rather have more stock right this second. But if we could wait 6 months and pretty much all of you guys watching this video will have a chance to get your consoles, I think that's kind of nice at the end of the day. I can kind of appreciate that at the end of the day. So I don't know, you guys can kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below. So hopefully you guys have this setup. I know it's a little bit of a weird, goofy setup. I hope you guys don't mind it, and hope you guys won't hate it. But as I mentioned, when it comes to all these consoles, it does seem like, especially with the brand new Horizon bundle that we had a chance to see a lot recently, I think we'll be seeing a lot more folks getting stock with it, big companies as well, like say the Targets, Best Buys, etc., getting more stock, getting more hookup, and all that stuff. Like, I think that's awesome. And as well, on top of that too, we'll also be seeing a lot more, ideally probably Xboxes, because if it can happen with Sony, it'll also happen with Xbox itself. But at the end of the day, I do think a lot of these like really big higher ups at Sony realize the importance, where they kind of like talked a big talk, but for a while they haven't really walked the big walk. So the fact that they're now prioritizing spending more money and additional money on top of that, I think that's good. Like, we want that to happen. We want these consoles to pop on off. So it kind of does make me sad that it's taken so long. It's been over a year and a half that we've been doing a lot of this restocks and all these movements. But the fact that all these big financials are pushing good news, the fact that all these semiconductors and like these big shipments and everything else as well are also pushing good news, and even more and more on top of the fact that we're just seeing these actual restocks actually happen in real time, and actually big companies, and so a lot of them are actually still on the overdue side too as well, which will also mean even more better restocks in the near future. I think it does kind of put at least a little bit of a nice future notice, and anyone who's been having these issues recently can now at least have a breather, can now hopefully get them sooner rather than later, and at the end of the day, at least it is kind of working. So at least for me, I think we're kind of slowly getting towards more of the tail end of this stuff and more tail end of production, but it also means good news for all of you guys watching. So good stuff with that. So like I mentioned, we do have a little bit of a weirder setup. I know you guys all know, and hopefully you guys don't mind, but it'll be for a few more days. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. As the per usual, I have all the Amazon links down below, the Twitter and Twitch streams down below if you guys want to follow, the Weebles, the Coinbases, all the good old stuff as well. And on top of that too, hope you guys just all have a fantastic day. And like I said, we'll have a few more videos kind of the similar format as well. So I hope you guys never mind. But I do want to say I appreciate you guys all so much for being a part of the channel in the first place, and we'll get back to normal pretty soon. But until then, enjoy the vibes, the crazy hair, and all that good stuff. I'll see you guys all later on later.